Hey guys, Tom here, and today I'm bringing you my WWE Monday Night Raw preview, news and rumours for this week's Raw. So yesterday was the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I've got a review up on my channel. If you click that link on the annotation, it will take you straight to my Money in the Bank review. Last night's show was awesome, but tonight is a whole new story. So we're going to talk about news and rumours for this week's Monday Night Raw. If we can go for 150 likes on today's video, that would be absolutely awesome. You guys absolutely love my Raw previews, and today we're going to do it all over again. So tonight's show is coming from the Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix, Arizona, and there's loads of things to talk about. Firstly, usually on a show after a pay-per-view, we have lots of returns, possible debuts, and according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there is heavy talk of NXT's Finn Balor moving to the main roster. Now, this may not happen until the draft in July, but his debut is being described by officials backstage as imminent, and tonight would be the night to bring in Finn Balor. Loads of superstars always return the night after a pay-per-view. Could tonight be the night we finally see Finn Balor? Also, PW Insider's Mike Johnson did report last week that WWE star Connor from the Ascension has completed his wellness policy suspension, so it's quite likely the Ascension will actually return to WWE TV on tonight's Monday Night Raw. Also in the news from last night's Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Alberto Del Rio is likely not going to be on tonight's Monday Night Raw because PW Insider's Mike Johnson reported that we've heard numerous people about Alberto Del Rio that he was actually helped out of the arena by several referees. The Big X went up just after the match, and apparently he took a really scary bump hitting into the ropes at one point during the final sequence of the Money in the Bank match. So it's not likely we will see Alberto Del Rio on tonight's Monday Night Raw. Two superstars we could see on tonight's Monday Night Raw is Sasha Banks and Bray Wyatt. They are actually being advertised to appear at tonight's show. The Arena, Phoenix, they are actually advertising both Bray Wyatt and Sasha Banks for tonight's show, so it's quite likely we will see them return to WWE television. Also, leading up to SmackDown going live in July, former general managers both Teddy Long and Kane have actually returned in recent weeks, so can we expect to see someone else? Are they going to continue the trend each week, bringing back some general managers? So could we see Vicky Guerrero, Eric Bischoff, John Laurinaitis, Booker T, Mick Foley? Could we see somebody tonight who is a former general manager returning and trying to ask if they can be the general manager of SmackDown? That is quite likely. One of the biggest stories of the night at Money in the Bank was the club costing John Cena a win at the pay-per-view. Now, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson attacked John Cena during his match, helping AJ Styles to a victory. So I think one of the most exciting segments on tonight's show will be John Cena's response to the club. Now, it's likely we will get a rematch, but are they going to hold this off until SummerSlam, or are they going to book it for Battleground in 5 weeks? And could John Cena request a stipulation like a cage match to keep the club out? That is something to keep in mind, but I think John Cena's response to the club tonight will be a must-watch segment. Also, in one of the most underwhelming parts of the pay-per-view, Natalya turned heel on Becky Lynch. Who cares? I don't. You guys don't. But the direction of the narrative involving Becky Lynch and Natalya is pretty obvious. They're going to have a match at Battleground. But what does this mean for the women's champion Charlotte? She didn't defend her title at the pay-per-view last night, so are we going to get two women's feuds going into Battleground? I'm sure it's going to become pretty clear, but with the WWE investing so much time in Natalya and Becky Lynch over the recent months, they've kind of neglected the rest of the roster, so there's no other credible women's wrestler who can step up and challenge Charlotte apart from Sasha Banks. So will Sasha Banks finally make her return and challenge Charlotte for the Women's Championship? Because apart from Sasha, I don't see anybody else on the roster they could put in that position right now, because they've spent so long building Natalya and Becky up. They're going to have their own feud at Battleground. So who is Charlotte going to feud with? I can only see it being Sasha Banks, but is she finally going to return? Hopefully. Also, in one of the surprises at Money in the Bank, Rusev versus Titus O'Neil was pretty entertaining. It really was. The match was ugly, hard-hitting, really entertaining. Rusev ruined Titus O'Neil's Father's Day as his sons were watching. So it kind of seems like we're going to get a rematch because Titus O'Neil will want some revenge on Rusev for ruining Father's Day for Titus O'Neil. They put on a good match last night, so it's pretty likely we will get a rematch at Battleground, so watch out for that feud to continue. But of course, the biggest story of Monday night will involve all three former members of The Shield. Dean Ambrose walking out with the WWE Championship. Who thought on tonight's Raw preview I would be talking about Dean Ambrose and the WWE Championship in the same sentence? This is crazy. Reigns is bound to be frustrated about losing the titles. Rollins, he's certainly going to have payback on his mind, so it's going to be really interesting to see. But overall, Ambrose is going to stand tall with the title, which is just crazy, crazy, crazy. The biggest question on everyone's minds, however, is does the WWE hold out until SummerSlam to have the triple threat? It's the biggest event of the summer, so they might hold out on the triple threat until then. Or will they do it in 5 weeks of Battleground? We really don't know. Or they could technically just do Seth Rollins against Dean Ambrose at Battleground and hold off putting Roman Reigns in the fray until SummerSlam. We really don't know, but it's going to be great. Dean Ambrose coming out with the WWE Championship to start Monday Night Raw. That is how Raw is going to go down. It's going to be great. Hope you guys enjoy it. Follow me on Twitter for live tweeting throughout the show. Thanks for watching. Smash the likes. Take care. Spike your hair.